What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now we're going to talk about Terra Luna Classic as well as some interesting updates in the Bitcoin market. If you've been following me on Twitter, well, it's been definitely a very interesting day for all of us in cryptocurrency. But before I do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do talk about cryptocurrency every day so that you can try and make the best from your portfolio. With that being said, let's get into exactly what has been going on in the market. So very interesting. We're seeing some nice push-ups both in USTC, Luna Classic having a little bit of a run, and Bitcoin. Now, I talked a lot in the last week about how Bitcoin I thought would push above 31K to grab some of the LP levels in the higher 3100s, and the market makers did exactly that. We saw a big push up. You can see here on the chart bouncing off that kind of 50-day EMA all the way up, topping at about 3104, subsequently coming all the way back down using the 200 EMA as a support level, currently trading 3361. So very interesting push up in the market. What has it done though? The rest of the market having a pretty good ride. Ethereum doing exactly the same, up about 0.7, XRP holding about 2%, well as Luna Classic up nearly 1%, trading 8280, and had a pretty solid move up in line with Bitcoin, as well as, like we said at the very start, USTC also having a pretty good ride. Now, what I want to talk about specifically is proposals. We've been talking about governance proposals now, what feels like forever, but for the first time, we've actually got someone who genuinely, I think anyway, believes in this blockchain, has been here from the start, and is a fellow UK YouTuber as well. So we'll talk a little bit about Happy Catty Crypto and ultimately what he has been talking about and that proposal he has put in. Now, where do we sit currently with a few proposals? There are a few interesting ones in there. We see that 1% max fee validator that's in there. Don't worry about the Luna airdrops. They're all scams. Don't bother with that. We also see the banned Terra port and those validators who are running it. Not sure how that one's going to go down. The reverse split is a very, very interesting topic. And we know that we have the Repeg team working on that, as well as the Quant Algo team starting to look at a potential repeg for $1 Luna Classic. Who knows how long that's going to take? Fingers crossed we start to get some interesting movements on that, as well as the L1 team building out that USTC test environment. But the one I want to talk a little bit about is the L1 team to build a wallet infrastructure final. This is by Hattie Catty Crypto. And again, a fellow UK YouTuber and a big supporter of the Lunc chain. So I think very, very good news. So what has it done and what is he talking about? Well, we've got the L1 team prioritize the development of a mobile station, desktop station, and extension. The urgent focus is crucial in preventing the privatization of our fundamental necessity, our wallet, which is integrated into almost everything we do. Many active validators, members, projects, and content creators within the Lunc community have been vocal about this issue. By developing our own mobile station, desktop station, and extension, we can streamline our upgrade process and ensure key station functionality remains up and running. Also, should any issue arise for an upgrade, they can be addressed with a couple of days rather than waiting on a third party to merge a pull request for a much longer period of time. What does he talk about here? Well, ultimately, if you remember, there was a lot of movement in terms of getting that upgrade through TFL, equally then back to the Terra Rebels, and we've never really gone back and changed that. Fundamentally, Terra Luna Classic, one of the most decentralized, if not the most decentralized chains out there. However, what that comes with voting power by validators. So if you've got validators with 20% voting right, they'll always be able to push through a narrative. Likewise, and in my opinion, a conflict of interest when you have validators who ultimately are building on the chain and therefore can get their ideas through. He continues by saying, we are proposing Edward Kim be responsible for the domain used for our infrastructure, and he is a key figure that is trusted in the community. We know that Edward Kim working on that AI development for the chain as well. So we ultimately, what does it look like in a nutshell? Reduce the dependency on TFL and enhance the reliability and uptime of station. If you think about currently, we're waiting still for that mobile app update, and you can still not fully see what the validators are voting on, which is very, very important when you're talking about proposals. So I think for one, this is very, very well thought out. It's very clever and equally very, very needed right now. We take a look at some of the stats, however, for Luna Classic. You can see that we continue to hover just under that 15% stake to about 1.023 trillion. What's interesting though, 205 million coming out of the pot. We did burn a further 31.7 million Luna Classic today, which is good news. However, we want to see this move up. We want to see it continue. And finally, the one thing I want to talk to you about, the community wallet. We obviously know we spent a lot of money, our biggest investment yet, with all of the upgrades from the Quant team, from the Terra Rebels and what they're doing, and equally that extra 3 months from the L1 team. Now, our community wallet is growing. However, it's growing slowly. So we need volume and we need more people to be aware of exactly what's going on with Terra Luna Classic. How do you help? Well, you make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. You make sure everybody knows about this video and you tell them all the great things that we currently are building out, being decentralized and making the best situation we can with Terra Luna Classic. And hopefully the price will continue. Like I said, when we take a look at that chart, we want to see this continuing to start moving up. And again, Terra Luna Classic looking for some support right now off that 50 EMA. We could see a very good week all in all. That's going to do it for this video. Apologies for the sound quality. We'll be back on Friday in our usual home. Until then, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash a like on this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.